Look down at Earth. The physical planet is whole, but the way we govern it is shattered. We've sliced the globe into nearly 200 competing fragments, convinced that the lines we've drawn are the most real things about us. That divided worldview leads to a very specific physical consequence. When every nation views its neighbor as a potential threat, the result is a global stockpile of roughly 12,000 nuclear warheads, enough explosive yield to end human history in an afternoon. We tend to view these massive arsenals and endless border conflicts as political failures, but they are actually symptoms of a deeper blindness. We are ignoring the actual objective structure of human society. We have engineered weapons capable of absolute destruction. Continuing to process reality as a zero-sum game of competing fragments effectively ensures those weapons will eventually be used. For thousands of years, our cognitive framework has been disciplinary thinking. It's a way of viewing the world that isolates reality into disconnected categories, separating economics from ecology and treating individual nations as completely independent actors. This strict framework creates a zero-sum environment. Within this logic, Nation A perceives Nation B's economic growth or military defense as a direct liability to its own survival. But we have to ask, is this hyper-competitive, hostile environment an objective truth, or is it a perceptual illusion caused by looking at a unified system through a shattered lens? If you step back from the noise of individual nations and fleeting political cycles, a different picture emerges. A massive, constant order is quietly operating in the background of every society on Earth. To survive the machinery of war we've built, we need to shift how we process reality. We have to move from viewing fragments to understanding the whole. This shift is known as spheral thinking. As Albert Einstein suggested, we cannot solve our existential crises using the same level of thinking that created them. This model illustrates the social genome. Every human society on the planet relies on 4 interdependent spheres of activity: the zoosphere that develops people, the infosphere that creates knowledge, the orgsphere that manages order, and the technosphere that produces physical goods. These 4 spheres are powered by spherons. Whether you look at a small town or a massive country, every person is continuously employed in sustaining one of these 4 vital areas of social production. These spheres operate under the law of equal necessity. The technosphere cannot build without knowledge from the infosphere, and the orgsphere cannot govern without the people raised in the zoosphere. They are mathematically dependent on one another. Mapping all the data this way shows that human civilization functions as a single, deeply interdependent biological organism. In a system this connected, war acts as an autoimmune disease, where the system attacks itself. Identifying these connections is one thing, but managing them is another. The human brain cannot track or balance the overlapping data points of an 8 billion person global network in real time. That requires an entirely new computational approach, spheral artificial intelligence. Traditional models are often trained on fragmented data, optimizing for localized competition, military strategy, or zero-sum financial trading. SAI is trained explicitly to perceive and compute planetary equilibrium. This architecture places spheral AI at the center of the global equation. By processing demographic and economic data through the lens of the 4 spheres, SAI identifies the exact harmony required to keep those spheres balanced across all nations. SAI functions as a planetary diagnostic instrument. It makes the complex mathematics of structural harmony visible, measurable, and practically achievable. John F. Kennedy famously warned that humanity must end war before war ends humanity. Spheral AI provides the mechanism to pivot away from the arms race, allowing nations to compete in AI development and humanitarian growth instead of stockpiling weapons. This creates a state of multipolar perpetual peace. It is a condition of structural harmony where nations recognize that their own survival is mathematically tied to the stability of their neighbors. When SAI maps these connections, it reveals that a blow dealt to a neighbor's technosphere is a blow dealt to your own population's survival data. In this system, aggression becomes a form of self-sabotage that no rational actor would choose. It translates the golden rule into a quantifiable sociological operating system. Peace stops being a naive, utopian dream. When a society finally recognizes the unified data of its own existence, cooperation emerges as the only logical survival strategy. The architecture for this harmony already exists in the way we work, live, and produce. We simply have to acknowledge it, to replace the artificial borders that keep us divided. It is time to adopt a holistic worldview, moving past the fear-based geopolitical strategies that have dominated our history. Embracing the science of spheral thinking is how we transform human civilization from a militaristic one to a peace-building one. It is the moment we choose conscious collaboration over the old path